it took a while for Vision to show up.
Exactly. And
That was crazy.
the White Vision got there before the
Yeah,
actual
and he was
Vision.
farther away.
Way farther. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because he. Well, thank you for listening and watching to your favorite podcast. This is the Maximum Filipino Show.
Hey, what's up, peeps?
Hold on, I gotta introduce you first.
I'm just saying hi
But,
with you.
um,
Jeez. Okay, fine.
But I gotta introduce you first. That's how it works. We've been
Okay.
doing this for a year, Waka. Okay. Anyway, we're doing Afterflicks. This is Afterflicks is you know how it goes. You've been listening to this, and if this is your first time, thank you so much for joining in. Please stay and listen to us.
Yeah.
As you can see in the title, it's WandaVision. This is an Afterflicks. We do some reviews from original shows such as Disney Plus, Netflix, Hulu, and things like that. Right now, we're doing WandaVision episode 9. This is the
the finale.
the finale. That's right. It's the finale, and Waka's still talking. I told him not to talk, but anyway, this is the final episode, and it's gonna be so much fun. My name is CB, Captain Bug, AJ. You guys can call me whatever you want. Just don't call me when I'm sleeping, because I won't answer. I'll probably be mad. With me right now is Waka. How's it going, Waka?
Hello.
Now you can-
Unfortunately, I don't have my solo camera, but you see me now.
Yeah. Now you can finally talk.
Jeez. Okay, selfish. You ever heard of that fish before?
we don't have Courtney with us because she's a little tired. It's currently 10:00 p.m. and it took a toll on her every time we record podcasts. Like the episode 7, we recorded at 11 p.m. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that wasn't the latest podcast recording we've done, especially for me because you were in California, so it's like 3 hour difference. We're 3 hour ahead. So it's my, let's say 11 p.m. or 12 midnight. It's
We'll
your
be
what?
2 or 3 in the morning.
No. I'm talking about like my 12 a.m.
We'll be 8 or 9.
Yeah, it will be your 9 p.m. So
that's
still
right.
kind of a little early for you, but man, mine is. It's always like that. I gotta sacrifice, And I tell him this all the time. I learned this from Peter McKinnon. I think that's how you pronounce his last name.
That English name, yes.
Yeah, it's art over comfort. Art over comfort. It's art over comfort. But
Let's
anyway,
just say that your work ethics means a lot in this point.
work ethic.
Yes,
It's the work ethic.
I don't know. I don't see art in this.
Hey, there's art in this.
Um,
That's kind of offensive.
well,
I
I'm just saying.
took offense on that.
I'm sorry. I'm saying how late or how early it is. How's that art?
No, the podcast is art.
Of
This-
course,
this
it's
is-
art.
I know that's why it's art over comfort. The comfortability of going to bed.
So figuratively speaking, I see. I'm just
Yeah.
like,
So
what
we're doing
art?
this art over the comfortability of whatever else we want to do. But we want to do this, and this
Yeah.
is art. Anyway. Okay, we're doing episode 9. And what do you think so far in episode 9?
I think it ended like a typical Marvel movie.
Oh, okay.
I
Alright.
mean, like you said earlier, it left it with a lot of questions.
Mm-hmm.
It may have ended like a Marvel movie, but not totally.
Yeah.
Because in most Marvel movie, well, I guess there was a happy ending, but this one was more heavy in the cliffhanger where she disappeared, goes off. I take it back. It's a typical Marvel movie, but they did.
You need to make up your mind.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide, but they did the post
Mid and post credit.
yeah, mid and
Yeah,
post.
and we can talk about that later and what that means.
That's why I say it's a typical Marvel movie, because in the beginning it wasn't, and
Yeah.
towards the end it did. So I felt like this was a very, very, very long. If they were to compress this to a movie, how long would this have been? So, episode 1, 2, 3, 4 was what, less than 30 minutes, or an average of 30?
Yeah, I think this last episode was about
45, like
45.
a typical
Yeah,
show.
and then the episode 7 was 42, and then the rest are just 30 minutes, 20 minutes. So
Oh.
you get the full.
So it was this
TV
like
show.
a 4.5 hour movie? If it was like all just one straight line?
Probably probably you can say that. Well, they have 9 episodes. You know what I mean? It's probably more than that, but you can compress it because there's a lot of fillers in there, like unnecessary fillers.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But other than that, I mean, because as you explained in the last episode, the hype isn't there anymore because now you see it's already, in the air. It's been, now you know who's the bad guy, you know what have happened,
Mm-hmm.
what that happened. Because yeah, you now know. But it was a good typical Marvel movie.
Speaking of villain, let's talk about our previous predictions that happened and did not happen.
I'm disappointed.
So the main prediction that we had was Mephisto will be there,
Right.
but he didn't show up at all. Like
Well,
none in this whole season.
I kid you not, this was the only time I knew about Mephisto.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, and building up
Yeah.
his character, I was like, I'm looking forward to this devil dude.
Right.
But maybe he wasn't supposed to be the main villain here. Probably the main villain. Maybe like you mentioned last time that now that Thanos is gone, who's going to be the next big thing
Mm-hmm.
or a big nemesis or enemy? Is Mephisto that big of an enemy?
No. So the rumor was the biggest enemy will be Kang the Conqueror. Kang the Conqueror is
Kang.
Kang the Conqueror is about multiverse and timeline and things like that. So when Endgame happened and they messed with the multiverse
Mm-hmm.
or they messed with the timeline, it ruined his Kang's whole plan and whole kingdom. So it destroyed the whole kingdom. So the reason why his kingdom was built because of what Thanos did. So by with the Avengers, the snap, because of the snap.
Mm-hmm.
So the Avengers going back in time and bringing back all the souls, it messed with his kingdom. So there was one video that I watched on YouTube. I forgot what it was, so you can't quote me on anything.
The main villain, because we agree that it doesn't reset the timeline in a sense. It just builds a new parallel world.
Right.
So this main villain happens to be on this parallel world that we're
No. So okay. So here's what happened with him. Uh, when they went back in time, and they were in the quantum realm. While we're there in the quantum realm, there's one scene where you can see there was like a kingdom in a dome. And you can see like buildings. They're just small buildings.
the quantum realm.
Yeah, it's
where Ant-Man was.
Yeah, and
Oh.
because they went to the quantum realm when they went back in time. Remember? In Endgame.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So and then you could see just a little bit of glimpse of a kingdom in the quantum realm, where that's where apparently they said that's where Kang the Conqueror lives and his whole kingdom, and because the Avengers going back in time and reversing what Thanos did, it ruined his kingdom. You know what I'm saying?
Is his kingdom outside of time?
Basically, yeah.
I
Well, because
see.
it's in the quantum realm and there's no basic.
There's no time there.
There's no time in quantum realm. So yeah.
Sorry,
and
I didn't
then
mean to.
and then they even talked about that. I don't know if you noticed this. This is gonna be a little segue and a little like a trivia for you if you're into. I'm guessing you're into Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
So there's main two characters besides the whole Avengers. Two characters that ended up in the quantum realm, right? In the whole Avengers, you have Ant-Man.
And the Ant-Man's soon-to-be mother-in-law.
Yeah, right. So Hank Pym's wife.
Yes.
Right. So you notice when they went in the quantum realm, when they went outside of the quantum realm, Ant-Man didn't age at all. After 5 years, he didn't age.
Right.
It's just the same thing. But Hank Pym's wife aged.
Well, she was there longer though.
Yeah, but there's no idea of time in there. But she got older, and it's because Ant-Man ended up in the quantum realm. Because remember when before he went in in Ant-Man 2, the reason why they want to go in there so he can get the power in whatever. That's why he had the capsule. Remember that?
Right.
So he wants to get some power in the quantum realm, but he ended up swaying away. Hank Pym's wife said, "Be careful and not to go in that area, because if you go there, you're gonna get lost. So she never went there. That's why she's still aged. But Ant-Man ended up going in there. That's why 5 years.
Coincidentally.
I don't know what happened, but in Ant-Man 2, you could see that. I don't remember, but there's something happened in Ant-Man 2, so he ended up being in there.
Interesting.
And that's where Kang, the Conqueror, lives.
Right.
So he's gonna be the next villain. So anyway,
going back to the prediction, I was disappointed that Mephisto wasn't there. However, I kind of like how Agatha played the villain.
mm-hmm.
She played it well. I mean, I know she's your favorite character because she really played out her role throughout time, and you know how she immediately changed personality, this and that, towards the end, being the bad witch. I wonder that's where the B word came from, bad and witch. Oh no, it's a dog word. Never mind. So, yeah, I appreciate that she played the villain pretty well. I mean, I expected more from it, but she was there. What else did we predicted?
So that's one of them. We didn't the Mephisto didn't happen.
Right.
And one of my guesses, the rabbit, will be Agatha's son,
or
but
husband?
it's not. Oh, the last episode, my prediction about. So this one, I'm partially right. I'm just partially right.
You just
The
want to say
reason
that.
why, huh?
You just wanted to say that.
The what? That I'm partially right.
Yeah.
Why?
Because you're no, I'm just messing with you.
You don't even know what I was gonna say.
I just know that you want to say that you're right.
Well, let me tell it first, and then you judge it if I was right or wrong. But in my opinion, I was partially right because my prediction in episode 8, that the two visions will combine. You got the soul and the body combining, or I mean, it's not the soul, it's the mind. So the mind stone and the body will combine. So I was partially right because it kind of did. He kind of did, because the vision with the soul stone, because he was telling him that you got all that memory in there, but they're blocking it. They're not giving you that access. So he touched it by the form of combining that ability of the mind stone in him, putting it in there, reprogramming that memory that he had, and then now you have the body and the soul combined together, which resulted to the real Vision.
So is this skin color of Vision the Vision that everyone is supposed to see as the white one?
Okay, so in the comic books, there's two different Vision. There's the real Vision and then the white Vision. The white Vision played a different kind of role in the Marvel universe. He's not the real Vision. He has a different name.
Oh.
Yeah, but in this, I feel like in MCU, he is just a white version of Vision.
Well,
That's a mouthful of word. A different version of Vision.
what I feel like, because I felt the Mind Stone was what gave him, I know its power, but also its soul in a way, that this new Vision, that hopefully soon to be introduced, is going to stand by to its original. Its initial program, as a robot, a very, very advanced robot.
Pretty much, but I think it's because of the the Mind Stone didn't give him the emotion though. You know what I mean? Like the Mind Stone is just the heart of the whole body.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing with all life forms. Having a heart means you have somewhat of an emotion, but with this robot, this advanced cyborg, it just feels like he's just an advanced, super advanced walking AI.
Right. I think okay. So the point that I'm trying to get is, so let's say when Vision was created, okay.
Right.
Like I said this in episode 8. We don't read the comic books.
Correct.
We read manga. That's what we do. We read and watch manga. We watch anime and read manga.
Yes.
We didn't read the comic books. So if you're reading the comic books and you're mad right now, they're like, don't don't leave. Don't be
Yeah, don't be
offended.
upset. We're just
Comment
we're sticking
on,
to one.
comment on this video,
Yeah.
and let us know if we're doing wrong. But I think so. I assume, let's say Vision was created without the Mind Stone. With the power, the Ultron. What's the name of Iron Man's assistant?
Jarvis.
Jarvis, Iron Man, and Bruce Banner. All that, four of them, right? I think it's still gonna make a Vision person, a Vision entity, a cyborg entity that has an emotion, just like Ultron. Ultron doesn't not have a Mind Stone in him. You know what I mean?
I guess you're right, but
It's
he followed algorithm,
Who?
didn't he?
Who? Ultron?
Mm-hmm.
No, he followed. It's based off of Iron Man's.
Jarvis database.
No. It based off of Iron Man's like thinking about. That's why they looked at Iron Man as a villain, because it's based on his darkness. You know what I mean? Like he wants to just end the whole world for the sake of the whole world. Because it's like the poison of the world is human being.
True.
So he wants to end it.
I guess that's fair.
So without the stone, yes, he's just a cyborg, but he also has those emotions based off his previous experiences, not through the Mind Stone, but through his entity.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I think that's what's gonna happen to him. I think he's in the Marvel universe. He's just the white version of Vision.
So you think? Well, I know I'm adding predictions to this, but do you think she's this new Vision's gonna connect with Wanda?
I think so. I think because in the comic books they connected too. What I don't get though is, without the White Vision didn't have a Mind Stone, right? At all. But he had that beam, and it's a powerful beam. Like, where is that coming from?
That's what I was surprised. That is the replica of Iron Man's.
Oh.
His newest suit had the triangle one.
Right. Well, triangle-looking figure. It's like a Superman logo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a diamond. It's a diamond. Well, not the typical diamond. I'm talking about like when you look at the diamond itself. That's what it looks like.
But yeah, that's supposed to be it didn't say it there, but they did mention the name. I forgot the name of it. But that was Iron Man's heart.
Interesting. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. How did he get an access to that?
Exactly, because you mentioned that Tony Stark or any of them would not ever release information that would potentially harm humanity or bring evil to the world.
Right.
Maybe they took advantage of his death.
Or maybe when he signed the accord in Avengers Ultron.
And they gave it all to the government.
Yeah. I'm guessing that's what happened, you know what I mean?
Now that he's gone, all the assets of him doesn't it go to the next of kin?
I don't know. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, because in what was this? There's still Pepper Potts is still signing all the paperwork for him, so she's still running the company. So yeah, she got it. It's like a conjugal property.
I mean, I know this is just me predicting what the next movie or storyline would be, but it would be scary if, because of the death of Iron Man, she just went down the deep end and just sold it all to the government.
Oh, I don't think so. Yeah. Especially if she has an iron suit.
Well, that's true.
You know what I mean?
And then she has a daughter, right?
Right. And her daughter is going to be in the Young Avengers.
So how are you going to call that, Iron Woman?
I don't know. Maybe she has a different name. You don't call the girl Thor.
So there was this joke. I mean, I know since we're on the topic of Iron Man, so somebody posted on TikTok, like, male is man, right?
Mm-hmm.
And female is woman.
Yeah.
But Fe on the periodic table is iron.
Iron Man. Bunch of females being Iron Man.
Right.
So when you say I am Iron Man, you're right. You are female. That's funny. That's good. That was a good joke.
That was supposedly either the actual or a replica of Iron Man's device that kept him alive.
Right. That makes sense. Okay. So we just the whole the episode started with, it's always the backstory. But you have Agatha taking hostage of the two kids
Mm.
and Wanda in there. And then they were, I think they started fighting, and Wanda threw her, her power, her magic, whatever ability she has, and Agatha absorbed it just like usual. And then her
Mm.
hand, I think it was the right hand, which is funny. I mentioned this to them while we were watching it. The whoever did the visual effects kept changing, like it's not consistent. Because I always looking at her hand, because that's how I
Oh,
that's how I do
because it
it.
comes on and off.
Yeah, it comes on and off, like the darker, because it turned darker, older color. Like the older figure, I understand that if you can't see it, but the darkness, like it changes back and forth. You know what I mean? Like you
Mm.
went to normal skin color to dark, and then normal skin color again to dark. I'm like, this is not consistent.
Speaking of effects or things on the back end of
Mhm.
this whole movie, I kind of appreciated the CGI of the movement of the characters because I mean you can still see it, but there was a nice slight blend from the CGI to the real
Mhm.
actor or actress.
Yeah.
So I kind of actually appreciated how close to reality it came to the actual person. I don't know if that makes sense
Yeah, I think so.
because some they did a great job with the CGI. I'm like, it's not as bad as the previous Marvel movies, like the Hulk. Everyone knows that sucked.
Mhm.
Both Hulks, you can tell it's
Yeah.
fake.
Yeah.
But the CGI on this, where you know how it's inhumane of how all their movements, floating, moving, jumping,
Mhm.
they did a nice blend
Yeah.
in mixing. I don't
Yeah.
know if
Yeah.
you've seen that, but I saw that. It was a
Yeah.
nice
Yeah.
effect.
Yeah, and Wanda's flying like Iron Man.
There is no, I mean, it may not be perfect. Well,
No, okay, so if you have that ability, that kind of ability, I feel like you're gonna be like Starfire, like Teen Titans. You cover yourself with that ability, and then you fly.
she flew like Iron Man.
Yeah, she like has the ability in her hand, and then she's flying like Iron Man.
Well, technically, that's well. Quay Randy did say that
Yeah, I
he
know.
did float like a woman, so
Right.
maybe that's an actual woman post.
Yeah, but okay, so
What?
there's nothing coming out of her feet. It's just the hand. But you would think that you have the ability. Okay, you have the ability to control anything, right, around you, like what she did with the car, or anything. Like she can control everything. Why can't you put the? It's basically controlling your body to move. You know what I mean? Like to fly. So
Well,
cover yourself with that red aura, and then you fly.
so you're trying to show like a little bit of original of her flying or something like that.
I don't know if that's the original way of her
But
flying.
I'm trying to think. I guarantee most of the villains and heroes in general
Mm-hmm.
had tried and tried so much to find a way opposing of flying. I mean, think about it. I mean, they make it look really good in anime and manga, but if you bring it to reality, I think the only person who mastered the flight was Superman. Other than that, and Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone else, it seems like a Chinese fighting flight.
They're just floating.
Being yeah, like when she took off, and her from the ground to fight Agatha.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like she just posed, but the rope lifted her up just to pose and then pull.
Wait, what?
You know, I don't know how to explain it. Well, anyway, you know how she her back leg goes straight back and her knee
Yeah,
up,
yeah, yeah,
and her hands like as if she's sending the propeller up.
yeah.
So when she went up, it didn't seem like a smooth takeoff. It just looked like I can tell a rope pulled you up there.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah. And so it's Stanley explained this because there's no that I know of. Okay, you probably know this more than I do. I'm talking to you, listening or watching this podcast. But I've never seen anybody explain how can they be able to fly. Like for example, Superman, right? Stanley spoke about this. Because it's like, how are you flying? Are you just doing a longer jump? You know
Yeah,
what I
like
mean? Like a longer
build the
leap.
momentum to jump and
Yeah, and then you just, because you are so powerful with your jump, you can just, you have a longer jump basically. Like I Am Legend, with not
what?
I Am Legend, Hancock,
Oh,
same guy, Will Smith. But you know what he does when he jump to fly, the ground will break because it's too powerful. You know what I mean?
that would make sense to me.
Right. So Stanley fixed that problem by making Thor throwing the Mjolnir.
Oh,
That's why he can fly. He can't fly not because he can fly. He can only fly because the Mjolnir. So he
oh,
will throw it and then we will grab on it, and
Milner. Okay.
you know what I mean. He can just fly.
Well, there's a reason to fly. Okay, that makes
Right,
sense.
right. And then with Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, so she's covered with the
With
with
the
the
whole
Infinity
blue, yeah.
Stone, so that's why she could be able to fly. You have Green Lantern, he will cover himself with the ability.
Oh, I
That's
see
why he could be
why.
able to fly. But the other people like Vision, how can he fly? You know what I mean? Unless he's floating through air, like what he's doing with what do you call that? Like being transparent,
Yeah.
like anything that's going through
Right.
him.
So he makes his body really light.
Right, really light, so he can be able to take off. You know what I mean?
Speaking of going on, I know I'm switching the gears right here, but how did that work with? Well, I guess the gadget here, but it's amazing how the robot was able to imitate the 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 other vision, the dark vision. Because I get it, his power comes from the stone.
Yeah.
Originally, all that ability to fly.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would make sense if it was the Mind Stone, but how was the robot able to do it himself?
To fly, the robot?
To fly, to be transparent.
Oh, I have no idea, because there's nothing to explain how he can do that without the Mind Stone or without any
Exactly.
Infinity Stone.
Because that with now that you brought it up, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
wait, how did that advanced cyborg did it? I mean, did it just retain all the abilities, just copy and paste, or did the mind?
Yeah, and I mean, you wouldn't think that Hayward will be that genius to
Exactly. Well,
to rebuild him.
he's just the head, and he as we saw in the time where they were doing the
Right. Okay. So when they made Vision in Avengers Ultron, right? They needed the help of, well, they didn't ask for his help. Thor just barged in and used the
Thor,
the lightning
the lightning
to
from the
power him up. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like, it took a god to awaken Vision or to make Vision. But you got Hayward. Like, who's helping him to remake Vision,
Right.
or another version of Vision?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And they didn't have an Infinity Stone. So how, I don't know how, I have no idea. So the episode 8, when they showed Vision, that's the first time I asked, like, what? How did he do that? You know what I mean? Like, there's no way he's that smart. Like, he's smarter than Bruce Banner and Tony Stark combined, because Tony Stark and Bruce Banner couldn't do it if Thor didn't come and help him.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, it also just kind of questions that. So does that device on his forehead, is it just as powerful as an Infinity Stone?
Right? I
If
know.
it is, Tony Stark
But
had
I
made
mean,
it.
probably not, because okay, so when Vision and the other Vision was fighting, and then he shot him, right? There's no damage happened to him. Granted, he's like in the hex, so he's just a pigment of Wanda's imagination,
Right.
that's working, like a portable with body and things like that. So he probably just rebuilt himself, because the only time you can see him clashing and removing when the hex was opening.
Oh no, I'm referring to the white.
I know.
Oh,
So when he shot him, because remember that when Wanda was trying to free everybody, it's like,
Right.
get out, and he opened the hex. Vision was, they
Slowly.
were shooting each other. They were shot each other at the same time, and then the hex was opening, so Vision was getting weak.
Yeah.
And then he
disintegrating.
shot him, and then he fell. But you don't see any damage from the white Vision. It's just the damages from the hex opening. And then when the hex closed, he was just completely fine. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
I
it's
see.
not as powerful as the Infinity Stone, but still, It
Oh, okay. Now
you
it's
know what I
clicking.
mean?
My bad.
Yeah, it doesn't but it still doesn't explain how they
Yeah,
remake or remade Vision
how
in
they
that version.
successfully imitated the
Right,
vision that we saw from Wanda's imagery or
right, or
imagination.
previous Marvel movies.
All right.
So
Well, to give it back, flying. You were talking about flying, so
well, I was mainly talking about I was the errors on how Wanda is supposed to fly, because I feel like it will be more of a like I said, the Teen Titans girl. I forgot her name. I just said her name, not Raven.
Starlight,
Starlight, yeah. Is it Starlight? Starfire.
Starfire.
Starlight
Close
is the
enough.
voice. Starlight is the voice.
All right, that's right.
Yeah, we're combining all these superheroes.
Hey, there's so many stars in
Right.
the sky.
Yeah, it's Starfire.
Um,
She covered herself with that ability,
Well,
and that's why
maybe
she
they
could be
just
able to fly.
they did it because what you call her hand were the propellers. You know, she had the ball of red balls in her
Right.
hand.
Right.
Yes,
Well, Agatha has the same ability, and she was covering her. You don't see Agatha flying like that.
but she was covered with her dark aura.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then she can fly. You know what I mean? Or maybe she's just well. Okay, the other excuse is, um, Wanda's just still learning her ability,
Yeah,
so
because
she doesn't know how to use it.
true.
But towards the end of the show,
It was still the same
she
thing.
will still the same thing.
It was a Superman stand or a Superman flight.
Right. Okay, so they started fighting, and the white Vision showed up.
And you were talking about predictions, and you were talking about Vision and that. What was the other predictions?
I don't have any other prediction though.
I guess the main predictions
Oh,
were
oh, 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 who that peaked. The what do you call this? Uh, I just mentioned this Mephisto, the Quicksilver being Mephisto. So that's not true.
that was a drop, but
That was a drop.
it
Although, I'm not going back to this. I'm gonna talk about it right now. So we saw Monica and him fighting, or in one.
yeah, and that
You know what that reminds me? That reminds me that whole scene of being in the man cave. That's he said that this is my man cave.
right.
That reminds me of X-Men.
Yeah, I remember when
With
he was
Quicksilver,
downstairs.
and that was his man cave.
Right.
He's going back and forth playing ping pong and playing Pac-Man, and he said that was his man cave. So that kind of reminds me of that scene. And then Monica asked him, how is she controlling you, right?
Right.
And she, like I said, she didn't mention the name. She didn't say Wanda or
Or
Agatha. She just said, how is she? Yeah, controlling you. And then second, when she found the control, it was the necklace.
The necklace
right?
that was purple.
Was it purple? I thought it was red.
No,
I'm pretty sure it was red.
it was purple.
I think it was red.
Well, we'll check it out, but
Yeah.
it was controlled by it. No, because remember, it doesn't make sense if it was red, because you know how they made the introduction. It was Agatha all along.
Mm-hmm.
She was controlling him anyway, so it needed something to stable him. It has to be her. I mean, the purple color.
Right. Okay, so Agatha's, I think it's either husband or, I think it was the husband. His husband's name,
Ralph.
like real husband, the evil husband in the comic books name is Ralph.
But his name is Rudolph.
No, Ralph. Remember, it's Ralph Boner.
Is it Ralph Boner?
Yes, it's Ralph Boner.
I thought it was
remember.
Rudolph.
Yeah, no, it's Ralph Boner. So that's her husband. And then when she, and the third thing that does not make any sense to me, and this is why I think, okay, this is my other prediction. This is why I think we're gonna see him again. And I was waiting for the mid-credit and post-credit scene, and I said it earlier. Remember, I just didn't end it. I think he is legitimately Agatha's husband. Now, when Monica pinned him down, he just pretended that I'm being controlled. When he took she took the necklace off.
So you think that whole man cave, the picture right next to Monica, was all staged?
No, I think that's legit him.
He's also a witch.
He has an ability. He has a power, not necessarily
Probably
a witch.
morphing.
Okay, so the third reason why I think, so the first reason why I think he has an ability is the what did I say? uh
Well, he's an evil husband of Agatha.
or the second one was because of the necklace, and then when she removed it,
He
acted
acted
like
as if
yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
wasn't him or her.
And then the third one is okay. So if he's getting controlled by Agatha, either Agatha or Wanda, it doesn't matter. He still has the speed ability. Where did that come from? Because the rest of the people in Westville, yes, they're being controlled, but they didn't have any superpowers.
It
Because
has to be a connection.
yeah, because when even in that man cave, that's why he like tapped. You know, when he tapped Monica, she flew because Monica tried to escape, and then he like went fast in
Well,
front
that
of
makes
him.
sense. Yeah, you're right. Because where did that ability come from?
Right,
I
like
don't
how?
remember.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So in the comic books, um, Agatha's husband has a speed ability.
Oh,
Yeah,
hmm.
yeah,
Man, that's weird.
yeah. Either her husband or her son, one of those two. But they have a speed ability. Because I was watching this video about Agatha's family, and that's what they said.
I see.
So I think he like pretended that he didn't, when Monica removed whatever his necklace is.
So they just needed an alibi to, see.
Yeah,
Okay.
because she's pinning him down.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he couldn't escape because Monica revealed her ability, which by the way, her eye color changed,
Yeah, it was purple.
yellow. What's going on with your colors? So you remember it was blue before,
Yeah, it was blue.
and then it turned to yellow.
Yeah, I do remember. Maybe because it's a photon.
Yes, yeah, because
Because there's not a specific color in that concept.
yeah,
Photon,
because
right?
Captain Marvel's aura is yellow,
Oh.
even though it came from the Tesseract, which is blue.
Mm.
It was yellow.
Okay.
It's like a glowing yellow.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he couldn't escape out of her. And then she found that necklace and
So you
acted
think
like
she somewhat absorbed it to turn on her ability?
no. I think she just saw it and then removed it. And then the dude just acted like, oh, I'm being controlled. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean?
Well, but that was the only scene. I just like, where did he go? What happened to him?
Well, there's a lot of characters that we don't know what happened to them. You know what I mean? Like the White Vision, what happened to him?
Yeah, he straight up disappeared.
Right. What happened to Agnes?
Yeah, that's right. Because it didn't make sense when she said, "You will be here. You'll
Yeah,
stay here."
you're gonna stay here. So we can say, well, and also the thing closing. You know what I mean? So she changed her back to just
That
nosy
nosy
neighbor,
neighbor.
while the hex is still up.
So you think now that she had full control of her ability, and she now has a way of just selecting who she can change?
I think so. I think Westview exists. We found that out. I don't know what that cop was talking about, and I don't know how did that
Exactly.
happen. Like I think
That's
he was controlled by
Because when it
Wanda.
came to Jimmy Woo, he said that
Westview does not exist, and they
exactly
asked him, "Where are you from?" He said, "Eastview."
Eastwood.
And then like, oh, okay. And now we found out that Westview really did exist,
My interpretation of that
or
was
really do
that
exist.
is that Westview was actually Eastview. It was just changed due to the whole thing. But as we played out, Westview is really Westview,
Mm-hmm.
and it probably would make sense if you said that they're from Eastview.
Right.
Like there's an actual city from Eastview. The cop came all the way here from east to west, but just to claim that it didn't exist,
Mm-hmm. So it might be because Wanda's controlling him too. You know what I mean?
even
Like the cops.
outside of the
Yeah,
hex?
even outside of the house. Like
And she
why
did
not?
not know that?
Huh?
How'd she not know that?
That Wanda? Well, there's a lot of things that Wanda didn't know. You know what I mean?
Well, that's true, but that's crazy, man.
Right. Right.
Oh well, they did leave. It's not like they went back into town, so it makes sense that
Right,
your
right.
idea that they are from Eastview. They went to Eastview City or
Uh-huh.
town.
Yeah. So I think Ralph, or that guy who pretended to be Quicksilver, we're gonna see him again. He has his own ability.
He has his own character in the
Right.
storyline.
And my prediction is he's related to Agatha.
Do,
And he's gonna be the one trying to save Agatha out of that whole Wanda trap.
So
or
do you think
situation.
that him becoming Quicksilver was a coincidence? That X-Men has, I mean, I know.
X-Men has nothing to do with it. No.
Yeah.
Nope. There's no connection yet, and they didn't. They didn't
So
include
that
that
whole
in
build up possibility that X-Men and the Marvel universe will
there.
connect. I mean, Disney did buy them off, so
Right. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think there's any connection. I think they just Kevin Feige and the directors just played with our minds and like, yeah, we're gonna put
Yeah.
him in there and make him Quicksilver, and now they're gonna, it's gonna blow their minds like, oh my gosh, he's the Quicksilver in X-Men now. He's the Quicksilver here. Like, what's going on? They're gonna connect them? Nope.
but
they're
it
not.
makes sense though what you said.
We all got played.
Yeah, basically, because they still played us. For the example, when the car landed on Agatha, what was left?
Just the shoes, and
And what does that remind you of?
it does remind me of Wizard of Oz.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we all said that when we were watching. It's like, yeah, that's Wizard of Oz. Okay, so we're jumping in a lot of scenes. So after that, it was the fight scene of the White Vision, the New Vision, which okay, we talked about this in episode 8. Man, it took a while for Vision to show up.
Exactly, and
That
the
was
White
crazy.
Vision, the White Vision got there before the
Yeah,
actual
and he was
Vision.
farther away.
Way farther. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because he came from outside of the hex.
How was he able to go in?
I have no idea. Well, he has that transparent ability, so he might have used that. You know what I mean?
The real Vision had the same thing.
Yeah, but okay. So the real Vision, the Vision that's in that
Oh,
Wanda
the Hex
created.
Vision. Okay, how can we name this? Hex Vision and White Vision.
How about you can say color vision? People might get offended. You had a color vision and the White Vision. That's kind of like, ooh, that's kind of racist.
Well, the Sword Vision and WandaVision. Okay, that works.
Yeah, WandaVision.
So Sword Vision and WandaVision. Okay, they both have the same abilities, coincidentally,
Right.
and
But you gotta remember, WandaVision can only exist in Hex. So when he stepped outside, because he tried it, he stepped outside of the Hex, he'll die because he only exists inside the Hex.
Do you think because that Sword Vision was same data, same everything to Wanda, that the Hex recognized him as the WandaVision, and that's why he easily walked in or got in?
Yeah, they never explained how he got in.
Yeah, true, but it just didn't make sense to me how, if using that ability, transparent, to easily go in, then it would have been easy for him to go out. But then again, I don't know.
But when did he? Okay, when did he? Okay,
When did he first appeared?
Yeah, let's remember this. He first came in.
He first appeared when he met Wanda, and then he nearly crushed her head, and then the WandaVision actually swooped in. Punched
Okay,
him
so
out.
this was
Right when they left the house.
Huh? Okay,
so the scene that you're trying to get to is when the ending of episode 8, the opening of episode 9, where
so before. Okay, so I was just trying to get this. It's before she opened Hex.
Yeah, way before open the Hex.
Way before she opened the Hex. So yeah, so that would be a question like, how did he get in? My assumption was because of that ability, because he got the ability of transparency and he can go through stuff, including the Hex. It doesn't affect him.
I mean, that's the most logical explanation. I just my other theory is that the Sword Vision was very, 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 very identical to the WandaVision, that the whole Hex recognized it as, because it didn't allow anyone.
It's possible too, because remember when they tracking the two visions, they both appeared, just them, like blinking.
You know what? You might be right. Only because, I mean, whether he transparently went through or forced himself went through, I mean, Photon went in.
Yeah.
She fought her way through. I mean,
Right.
it nearly changed her, but she fought her way in.
Yeah.
So, okay, I will take it. He just had the power to get through.
And, I mean, I'm gonna go with your. It's funny because I make my own like position, and then you make your own position. Now you're gonna agree with me, and I want to agree with you, cause he didn't have. Okay, so Photon went through the Hex.
Yeah.
Cause she got the Infinity Stone ability.
Right.
But not this new one. You know what I mean? He's just a normal android.
Exactly. A very advanced android.
Yeah. So I think it's either
he muscled in or transparent in.
It's just transparent, and then you're probably right with the recognition, because when Hayward was tracking both of them while they were fighting,
it still was able to read inside.
Yeah, both of them were blinking. That means because they were reading the vibranium. Yeah, so the Hex probably recognized him as just this is Vision coming in. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like same pattern, same print, and all that. So they were fighting, and that doesn't make any sense. Like, how did the Sword Vision arrive before WandaVision?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Because on episode 8, where WandaVision was tripping, it was like, Wanda is messing with me. I need to go see her. And then you see him transparently going through the ice cream truck.
Yeah.
And it's way before the
right.
opening of or not opening, the activation of Sword Vision.
Yeah, and you can't say that, he's probably looking for Wanda. Like, come on. There's no way he's looking for Wanda. He can sense Wanda. And second, they were at the house.
Exactly. But then again, this is what you stated. Movies and series, they don't have the concept of time.
Yeah, but if they're trying to make it look realistic,
well, if they
gotta be make it realistic.
It didn't make sense because what happened in the activation of Sword Vision, it happened at night.
Yeah.
And then next day, it happened at night while it was still day in WandaVision.
And talking about in the Hex.
So in the Hex it was day, while outside at night. Outside it was night when they activated.
Right. That part that part is explainable, because whatever's going on in the Hex is not same thing as what's going on outside the Hex.
Well, hear me out, because it's real time outside.
Right.
While time is distorted due to Wanda's ability.
Right.
Due to Wanda's ability in that time, going back to WandaVision, the WandaVision, he should have been there by then. But now the outside time that's stuck to real time at night, that's when Sword Vision was activated. Then on this episode, it's day. It's day out.
So you're telling me that he just transported, because it's 2 different times? He's just transported.
Well, you said trying to make it realistic, but they failed.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
They failed on the timetable. They activated Sword Vision at night, and on the next day, that's when you see him approach in, but it was already day inside. Like, again, time was distorted in there.
Well, there's also the whole... Okay, so I think my defense on that one is you don't know when did he release the... Like, okay, so when the whole Agatha thing going on with Wanda, you don't know when did he release the Vision. You know what I mean? Like Sword Vision. So it might be like in the middle of the Agatha and Wanda episode 8.
And then in that case, then simultaneously, we don't know the time when WandaVision left the bus.
Well, we kind of do, because you have the timeline of changing. Remember when I mean, if you put it that way, it's probably Vision got there way longer than the Sword Vision, because the transition happened was in episode 7 when the Hex expanded, right?
He got lost?
No, Hex expanded, and then he was talking to Darcy, and then they started traveling. So you have that whole timeline in there, even though it's the Office of Modern Family, where they had to stop and talking head, you know what I mean, in there. But still, you have that whole timeline.
So maybe during that timeline.
But Hayward and Sword Vision had to travel and go somewhere else and camp.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Somewhere else while that thing is going on.
So, I see. Now it's probably connecting the lines where the dots are at.
Right.
So while that's happening with Darcy and WandaVision, Sword Vision's already been activated on his way in.
Camping them in there, somewhere outside of the Hex, you know what I mean, and then released him. But something triggered for Hayward to release the new Vision.
It was how it activated?
The Sword Vision, yeah. Something triggered with him for him to release the Sword Vision. I forgot what it was. It's
Well, the
towards
whole
the end of the
no,
eighth episode.
the whole idea with Hayward releasing his sentient
Mm-hmm.
is to get well, one, he's thinking like a soldier.
Right.
There's the enemy. Wanda is the enemy. He wants to shoot her down
Right.
because she's keeping all those city people hostage. So he
Right.
just sees the one enemy. He sees a purpose of releasing the sentient vision or sword vision to attack her.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean that will be the only thing, reason or trigger to
Right.
release Wanda. I think he has something against her. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's my only reason why he would release it. Other than that, I mean, why would you?
I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, I know for sure because she.
But if you're talking
he,
about activation, of course, he was able to get the drone that was released inside there and
right.
use the.
No, no. The reason why I asked that something triggered him because, I'm talking like in the timeline, like something happened, and then it triggered him to do something because they didn't camp and then said, "Oh, let's release the new sentient." You know what I mean?
Right.
So there's something happened first during
Okay.
the hex, but I don't know what
again,
that is.
we're connecting the dots
Right.
in line. So
Okay, so
other than that, we just believe that WandaVision arrived late to save his girl.
way late.
So late. I mean, he
the
almost
sword,
lost her with mind crushing.
right. Sword Vision arrived there first before he did, and then they started fighting,
Mm-hmm.
and that was actually a pretty cool fight scene with the two visions, and then a cool scene
Mental.
when the two visions are spinning and talking to each other. It's like, what in the world is going on?
I just thought about it. I think they did it intentional. Like, you're fighting outside, being brutal, going at it like beast men, and breaking everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then when they get into the library,
Yeah,
it became intellectual.
it's true. Well, Vision said, WandaVision told him that there's something going on in your brain, and that made him curious because they're both smart. You know what I mean?
What I mean is that of all places to start.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I get what you're talking about. But when he said something happened, like
Oh,
they're messing with your brain or something like that, he said, you got me curious. Keep talking. And then that's when it started.
no, I think it started with a theory. They started a very brilliant theory that we may never know. It was a topic. You know how the those theory topics like the Big Bang or like the quantum time or the quantum whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So they came up with they started off with a conversation that was discussing about who's the real you,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where it all happened. But yeah, I know what you mean. They just started to talk smart that I didn't get, made me feel dumber.
Yeah, because he said that, okay, so what's the purpose of you being here?
A debate.
Well,
They
my
started a
mission-
debate. That's it.
No, it wasn't even a debate. It's just like he asked him a question. What's your mission? He said it's to destroy you. Why? We're thinking the same thing. We're the same human being. So there's something going on, and that's them messing in your brain.
Oh, right.
So he said, I'm curious. Tell me more. And that's how it started.
when Sword Vision woke up, something happened to his eyes.
Oh, it's just turned to human eyes, like a vision eyes. So before it's just robot eyes. You know what I mean? Just a blue robot
blue.
eyes. And then when he woke up his memory or put
Was-
all
uh-huh.
the bricks the puzzles together properly, he just woke up like the real Vision woke up.
With all the memory and so forth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so his eyes turned to the real Vision.
Mm.
Which, by the way, that's what crap. What's her name? Black Panther's sister.
Oh, I don't know her name.
Yeah, that's what she said. Like all these are part.
him.
He is not just the stone.
Yeah, he is a part of.
All of them.
Yeah.
So there's a bits and pieces of everybody. Someone actually I saw on Facebook. It's one of those clickbait, so I didn't click it.
Mhm.
They said that the White Vision or Sword Vision is Ultron, is awakened Ultron. I was like, that's not possible. I don't think they're gonna bring back Ultron just like that.
Well, what's his name? Sword Vision discovered in his opened or whatever files that he was able to access that I was made to be Ultron. He did mention. I don't know if he caught that, but White Sword Vision did mention that he was originally made to be
I thought
Ultron.
he said I'm made to fight Ultron.
No, he was made to become Ultron.
Oh, I don't know.
Because that was the whole original intent of how Ultron's body, what the body he wanted. But of course, it was interfered by Thor and so forth. But he mentioned that he was made to be, or like something for Ultron, not against Ultron.
Oh, yeah, I didn't pick that up. I thought he said I'm made to fight Ultron.
So it could have been true where the real Ultron came out, but then they still kept talking.
Right, but still, it's not possible. There's no way that a franchise, a TV show, will show another villain in a finale. There's no way. Like
because this is like a small or not a big.
Well, it can be that big, but it's the last episode. You can't reintroduce a new big villain and said, "Oh, this is our final episode. We're gonna introduce a big villain." Like, no.
That's not Marvel. I mean, that's not MCU's.
That's not a typical TV show in general. Like, you have the pre-existing main villain, which is Agatha, and then you're gonna introduce another old previous villain.
They would do it unless you're opening to a season 2.
Right. No, they will do it if there's more episodes after that.
Right.
Like let's say this is like the 3rd episode and you found out that there's Hayward. And then by 6th episode there's Agatha. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have more previous next episodes to introduce that villain and fight her. But not in the finale. It said, "Hey," or a cliffhanger maybe, like a mid-credit post-credit scene, and like,
right.
Oh, the White Vision turned to Ultron. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense, but not in that scene. You know what I mean? Okay, so and then they started fighting.
Yeah, and they're talking in the library.
Right, and then the let's go to the fight scene with
Agatha and Wanda.
Yeah, hold on. Let me finish my thought, because every time you cut me in, I'm losing it. Like, where am I going?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so when Wanda and Agatha was started fighting, Wanda used the whole her whole ability of waking up the people, right?
Right.
Waking up the people of Westview and turning against her. And then I actually like the idea of Wanda had enough and said, "You know what? I'm gonna go all out with my ability. You're gonna find out." And she said that I'm not a witch, which I mentioned this the previous episode, that she's not a witch, because she even said, "I'm not doing spells. Like, I don't do spells. I'm just doing this, and it's happening." It's because.
But what Agatha did mention, you're just too powerful in layman's term.
Mm-hmm. No, I think it's because she's mutant.
Well, it did mention that she was mutant.
Yeah, she's just mutant. I mean, I'm saying it just, but she's mutant that has that ability. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like a witch. Because they had to learn it. But her, it's in her. You know what I mean? Like, because in the comic books, I don't know if this is what the MCU is going to do. Because in the comic books, they are kids of Magneto. Magneto is their father.
On this side of the universe?
The Marvel in itself. Because even in X-Men, remember I told you Quicksilver's last name is Maximoff?
And the dad is Magneto. Okay.
Yeah, and his dad is Magneto. So I don't know if that's what MCU is gonna do. I have no idea. So she's mutant.
Well,
that had
the
that
parents
ability.
died. Remember?
Huh?
Well, remember the parents died in the blast. We've seen her visions.
Right. But I mean, you don't really know if that's their real parents. They can introduce it as saying they're not your real parents. They just found you and raised you.
Fair enough.
Know what I mean?
Because we only entered to the point where they were already, 6, 7.
Right, and they just said ma, pa. That's it.
Mm.
So anyway, I think she's mutant, and that explains why Quicksilver has an ability too. You know what I mean?
And just coincidence is that X-Men's
right.
Quicksilver.
No, like I'm talking about Pietro.
Yeah,
has an ability. And that explains why both of them has an ability. Because if you would say that she's a witch, then explain to me how Pietro has an ability.
I think witches are mutants, but they just don't know how to use it. But then again, Yeah, you're right.
But
She's not a
I don't
witch.
think I don't think Agatha is a mutant. I think she legitimately a witch who need to learn all the
Yeah,
spells.
because what witches do, they have to connect with a supernatural realm
Mm-hmm.
to gain. So it's basically
Doctor Strange.
a give and take. They have to make a trade. No, well, Doctor
Right.
Strange. What happened was that they had to. It wasn't a give and take because they have to read the book and they have to. It's like a. Anyway,
Like
it's
a
too much.
mantra or something
Yeah,
like that.
versus witches. In order for them to be able to do that, they have to give and take. They have to connect with the supernatural realm or make a deal with the devil, some kind of thing to gain that kind of power. Typical witches, I mean. But
Yeah.
then
Mm-hmm.
again, Doctor Strange are like warlocks. They have to read a book and have to use their imagination to go through different realms. But okay, fair enough. I mean, Marvel Universe is so broad with how people got their abilities or how they became this and that. Because I didn't even think.
That's why I told you they fix all that by creating mutants. So now they don't have to explain how they got the ability. They can just say they were born with it. You know what I
Yeah, they were
mean?
born with it, I
Like
guess.
there's no more origin stories for all these mutants and how they got the ability because they're just born as mutants.
Mm.
That's the fix that Marvel that's what they said actually. They
So
said that that's how you fix the origin stories.
it's just say, oh, they're just mutant. They just happen to have a very
Right.
special gene that
Mm-hmm.
make them beyond human.
Right. So that's Scarlet or Wanda as a Scarlet Witch. Um she didn't use any spells or not even when she was casting in that whole last scene when
Mm.
she was fighting Agatha. She wasn't casting spells. She was just casting her own ability
What?
and making spells off of that. Because remember, Agatha, when she makes spells, she does something with her hand or says something in Latin. But she
Oh,
didn't have
that's
to
right.
do it. You know what I mean?
That's
She
right.
just cast it on the walls of the hex and formed those runes.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, it makes sense. You're right. Because now that she carries the title of Scarlet Witch, I'm jumping, but
mm-hmm.
she's now reading the Dark Book.
Right, right. Yes, exactly. She's reading the Dark Book now.
Mm.
And we saw that on the post-credit scene. The did the hairdress appeared? So the first time the headdress appeared, besides the vision on the Mind Stone, right? But the headdress, I'm talking about the horn
Oh, the
headdress.
horn.
Yeah, appeared the first time was
When
when
they were
she,
in there, in Agatha's mind.
yeah, when they were in Agatha's mind. And that's only showing that she's a Scarlet Witch. But outside of that, when did it show up?
It showed when she played the fool with Agatha sucking up her power, but she was throwing runes in her space.
Oh, okay.
And
So
then
it already showed there.
no,
Okay.
it was starting to. What happened was it was slowly returning her powers back,
Mm-hmm.
and then a figment of or like a light of the crown was over her face,
Right.
and then now that she was able to regain her powers, that's when she took all the powers that Agatha
Agatha.
has gained throughout the years, took it to herself, and it just became a full
Right.
costume.
So the reason why I asked that because she became a legitimate witch. So before she's just a mutant. Now she became witch because she absorbed
Agatha.
Agatha's ability, which is the witch.
So why was Agatha tripping when it's just, you don't know what you've done?
What do you mean?
So I don't know if Agatha was just saying you just opened Pandora's box.
Yeah.
You know how she was tripping when her powers were gone. It's like you don't know what you've done, or
Oh yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah,
like so. What were you trying to do? Become the good guy or the bad guy?
yeah. I don't know.
But I was thinking maybe the Scarlet Witch was just only a myth, as she mentioned before.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was in their dark books, but I guess because she absorbed all that power and everything that happened to Wanda, I guess she legitimately became the Scarlet Witch. I mean, what was a myth became to life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm trying to make sense here. It's all in here. I'm trying to bring it all out, but once I bring it all out, it's just gibberish. It's not connecting the dots. I'm creating dots, no lines, not connecting. But anyway, just going back to the main point, she didn't become a witch until after she absorbed Agatha.
Right.
Mm.
So that's when she became the witch.
The actual Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, it's actual Scarlet Witch. And then okay, so when they were fighting, I love the scene with Darcy hitting Hayward. That kind of solved the whole thing. But before that, Hayward, freaking a-hole Hayward tried to shoot the kids. Right?
Yeah.
Tried to
He
shoot
tried
the
to
kids.
be. I don't know what was in his head. He just decided to go cold-hearted and shoot them.
Right.
And
Which
not
is
only-
not even his mission. His mission is not to kill the kids, but to get Wanda.
Not only that, he didn't even stop shooting once.
Yeah,
Monica
he emptied
or
the whole clip.
Yeah,
the
until
magazine.
Photon came out there. He just kept shooting.
Right.
Like,
Okay.
I would assume the first and second bullet's like, oh shoot, Monica's right there.
Right. Right.
But she just went it.
Okay. So when that whole shooting thing happened and Monica showed up, what did that remind you?
Vision.
No, it reminded me of Quicksilver in Age of Ultron, when he protected the kid and Hawkeye. But this time, because remember there was a Quicksilver saw a bullet in that scene in Age of Ultron. He saw a
Right.
bullet pass through him, right? That's why he ran back.
Nice catch.
But this time, the kid caught the bullet.
But it was an ability of Wanda, right?
Yeah, yeah. Was it Tommy or Billy? I can't tell. I think it's Tommy.
I'm gonna look it up. But yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. Let's not look it up. It's Tommy. I'm gonna say it. It's Tommy.
And what if you're wrong?
I don't care. I'm wrong. Okay, so but it's one of the twins.
And one of the twins.
It's one of the twins, and I think that's like a. I feel like I would like to think that that's a nod to that scene in Age of Ultron, that he Quicksilver tried to protect Hawkeye and the kid, but ended up dying. But this time, Monica tried to save the kids, but she didn't die.
Well, it makes sense because what's his name? Quicksilver did. The reason why he got shot was because he went to go save a child that was in the ditch.
Yeah.
And yeah, and the kids. Oh, it's been reversed this time. I see.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's I think that's a nod.
It can't be a coincidence. It has to be.
It has to be. Yeah,
Think about
it has to be a reference for that.
Every single episode is a reference to all the old shows. I mean, even Wizard of Oz was still there.
Right. So I think
it has to be.
It has to be. And then you got so Wanda. It's funny because Wanda said it in the beginning of this episode. She said that. Didn't she say it like my ability's working now? We're outside of the basement.
Yeah. You
So
mentioned
it's
that
like-
on the last
Right,
podcast.
and then because I said that too. It's like, okay, so we're not in the basement anymore because she could be able to use her ability. And
But-
then Wanda said it. It's like we're not.
yeah, it was. When she said it, I remember. Like, oh, AJ brought that up. But I think it was a coy. If I'm using the right word, it was all a ploy. I mean because the only way to get her to get
because her
Wanda's-
goal is to get her ability.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did. Did you going back a couple scenes back where Wanda or Agatha was playing mind tricks with her? It's like all I did was just turn off what you controlled. Do you think she still had some control of releasing some of their minds? You know, the people that lived in the city. You know how she was surrounded, and she says, "I'll make it better." You know,
Yeah.
started
yeah.
off with the mom's like, "I have a kid. Let me just hug her," or
yeah,
something
yeah,
like that.
yeah. You think she's still controlling them?
Yeah, because they were. If I was, locked up, I mean, mind controlled, and being hurt from her, I would be even pissed. Well, I would, but then I can see the point of view of the first person that Agatha released. Trying to have pity. It's like, okay, I know you're powerful, but work with me. I just want to see my kid.
Right.
We can have her play in my role here or be a part of my role. I just want to be a part of my kid.
Right.
And if it was me, I would be really, really mad. But everyone's true color came out when she finally released her ability.
Yeah.
You know how?
I don't think so. I don't think she was controlling them, only because towards the end when she took Agatha's ability and she was walking with her hoodie on, people are still acting the same way.
Well, they were just dark. They were just quiet. I thought that was their true feeling. Like,
yeah, but if you're mad, if you're really angry, because they acted the same way, like looking at her and just staring at her.
well, exactly. But they couldn't do anything because how powerful Wanda is or
Right.
become.
No, they're just reacting very weirdly. So let's say I see what you're saying. Like, if you haven't seen your kid for a very long time, the first thing that you will do is not be mad with that person.
Try to work with them.
No, try to find your kid. Like, where's my kid? I want to see my kid. I haven't seen her in a while. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the first thing that you're gonna do. Yes, you're gonna be mad at that person, but no, that's not. They're just reacting weirdly in this.
Well, I guess you're right because
This
later on,
show.
because it doesn't connect to what I was saying as the scene goes on, because she felt pity on her or on the whole people that was there.
Yeah.
That's when she started opening up.
Right.
The heck. So you're right. Maybe they were released, but they just couldn't do anything due to the fact she's too powerful. They can't do anything. They already seen or have felt what she can do.
Right.
So I guess they're just trying to work with her.
Yeah. But they still reacted really weird. You know
At
what I
the
mean?
end?
Even for a show, like at the end, like why? Okay.
It's almost like, well, yeah.
And then you and Courtney mentioned this earlier when she opened the hex. That's really far, and they're telling she's telling them go run. Like, dude, that thing is far.
And then they end up coming back.
Yeah, because it took a while for the hex when she tried to remove the whole hex. It took a
Right.
while for the hex to
to shrink.
and you're telling them to run. There's
It
no
was,
way.
The effort counts. I guess the effort counts.
Yeah, but I think it's lazy writing though. Like, my opinion is just lazy writing to make it, because the whole purpose of opening it is for Hayward to come in. That's the whole purpose of making it like that.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean? So it's lazy writing to tell them to get out.
Yeah, because how would he know like something's happened to the hex? How would he know that it's safe to go in?
Right.
He just saw that there's an opening.
So
Say,
they're gonna go. Yeah.
let's go for it.
Yeah. And Wanda wasn't talking to everybody inside the hex. She was only talking to the people
immediate
in there.
people, right?
You know what I mean? So the people that are close to the hex, they won't be able to know if she's saying to get out. You know what I mean?
So I guess the effort of her opening up and those guys running was just pointless.
It was totally it was lazy writing. That's what it is. They're trying to come up with something. Okay, so how are we gonna get Hayward inside the hex? Oh, how about this? Where Wanda is gonna try to be good and release all the people, so she's partially opening hex, and then realize that Vision is dying, so she's gonna close it back.
Close it back. Okay.
You know what I mean?
That connects.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
lazy writing.
yeah, it's a little lazy writing for that. I mean, we kind of. I mean, we said it's lazy writing, but man, you guys did a great job writing the show. Just that part.
Thinking about lazy writing, I mean, just think about it. They're probably like, man, I can't think of anything creative. So how can we just move on?
Right. And how can we put Hayward?
Your idea
inside?
came. I was like, oh, let's do this, that. Can that work? Can we just move on to the next scene?
Right.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, let's just do that. It's like the movie Venom. Have you seen Venom?
The movie, yeah.
Yeah. That was lazy writing.
The whole movie?
No, just the last part of So he got shot, right? Towards the last scene.
Oh, yeah,
He
yes.
got shot, and then the Venom came out, and then go back in, and then he's healed, and then attacked the guy and killed him. That was lazy writing. You know what I mean? Like, how can we make this like he's it looks like he's losing but won.
Maybe they just try to. Maybe they're just trying to okay, we have a limit to hit, and we can't keep creating. Let's just try to finish this up at the end, or
Right.
maybe lazy writing was. We can't do this anymore. We just got to finish it at this time. We have a deadline.
I don't know. All I know is it was lazy. It was lazy.
I guess
They just wanted to make it happen. And then and I think that's about it for for the most part. Jimmy Woo won the whole thing.
Yeah, he did. He was creative on. I didn't like how. I guess you can say that it kept. There was lazy writing through and through, because how could those soldiers in the back did
Mm-hmm.
not notice him grabbing the phone, because he made
Oh
it. He
yeah.
made it seem very
I was gonna say
obvious.
that too. And then the soldier wasn't even looking away. He was looking through him. You know what I mean? Because he was looking at Hayward, and he was Jimmy Woo was in between the guard and Hayward. So there's no way you didn't see him grab the phone.
Exactly. I mean, it was just in broad daylight, right in
Mhm.
the open. You're not that far. You're not that close either, but it's visual.
It's right
It's
there.
right there.
Right, right. And then you mentioned earlier when he removed the handcuffs, he only removed one, but the second one got like what?
Yeah, it's like, wait, how did he remove both?
The other one, yeah, both. You know, and then when the hex was shrinking, did you notice his Vision kept the ring,
On
the wedding ring?
towards the end.
Yeah, till the end.
Yeah, I did notice.
Yeah,
that the ring was there.
because Wanda only created those rings. They're not like a real ring. She just created them.
Didn't she
and
not
like-
have her ring?
I don't know. I didn't notice. I think she might have.
The
But
only
in
thing
the-
that you know is her hand getting old.
Right, but in the second episode, when he said, "We don't even have a wedding ring," so Wanda
No, it was
created the ring.
It was the end of the first episode.
Oh, it was the end of the first episode. That's right. We didn't even have a wedding ring, so she created one
Right.
for both of them. But I think I like that consistency of he still kept the wedding ring. Yeah, and make it like a. It's like in the what movie is that with Leonardo DiCaprio, the Inception.
Inception.
Yeah, it's like a
The top.
yeah, the top. It's like a thing that proves that you are in the real world, or you are the real Vision, kind of thing.
Need something to remind you that.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because there's two different visions, and even the sword vision can change color. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
and
that
it
was
proves
good.
that he's the real Vision.
Well, what else? So that fight scene, the runes.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny how she picked up her ability of becoming or learning to be a witch, because it all happened. I guess, you know how you said that Agatha needed, Scarlet's help,
Mm-hmm.
which that prediction flopped. But you did mention through in the last couple pods that in the comic book, Agatha helps her, teaches her or helps her anyway. In a way, indirectly, she did help Wanda becoming a witch.
Right. I mean, she even said before she changed her, before she put her back being Agnes, she said, "You're gonna need my help." And then Wanda said, "Well, if I need you, I know where to find you." Yeah. So I think
That's true.
that's a nod for that Agatha will be a helper for her.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
since she lost most of her abilities and powers,
She still has the knowledge of being a witch and how to make it work. Mike, just the question, going back to that question, is just what happened to her.
I guess she is going to stay in that town.
Yeah, but did she change to anything? I'm guessing not, but
Well,
I think she was just covered. She was already covered by Wanda's ability that if, because I don't think the people changed too, didn't they?
No, the people didn't change. All they did was change the way they think.
No, I'm talking about when the hex passed through them. Because everything that the hex passed through, it will go back to
it changed their
the
clothes.
normal world.
No, they changed their clothes.
Yeah, but so if that's the case, but the army trucks didn't, because I think they're already updated. You know what I mean?
The army trucks didn't, because they didn't go through the hex. They went through the opening of the hex.
Right.
So when they was coming back, it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, that's why I said it's already updated.
Right.
Like the trucks are already updated. So I'm guessing that's exactly what happened to Agnes too. But so whatever she looked like when Wanda changed her to
She
being
remained.
Agnes, she remained just like that.
Well, exactly. That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're thinking the same way.
But I guess the question is, how is she trapped in Westview?
How
like,
is she trapped in the real world as that character, as Agnes?
No, because she said you're gonna be in Westview. This is gonna be your home.
I'm assuming she's just gonna be a normal person thinking what she is.
Like she can't leave Westview at all.
What,
Like she's incapable to leave Westview.
yeah, I don't think she's gonna leave. I just what I see now as Agnes is a regular human being
Mm-hmm.
living a normal life as the nosy
No
neighbor.
neighbor. Yeah.
I mean, she will need to build her character, or not character, build her, basically build her rap because she's a nobody there.
Right. Right.
I mean, like, how's she gonna buy a house unless she's
Yeah.
gonna take over Wanda's land and
Yeah. Or keep that house.
yeah. But then again, we don't know. It's just that we see her change.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing more, unless Sword FBI is taken care of from there.
Right. But like I said, she's incapable to leave Westview
Right.
because of Wanda. Another mistake that I found.
Wait, what was the first mistake? Oh, the
well,
hand.
we mentioned a ton of mistakes because it's like, remember Vision showing up late
Well,
and all that.
we are going through the scene, so yeah.
Right. So another mistake that I found, that I noticed, after that Hex disappeared, Vision and Wanda were kissing in front of the window, and the window was on the right side. But when the Hex disappeared, she appeared in front of the front door, right in the middle.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
nice catch. Well, wasn't the door right there?
No, they were in front of the window.
Well, if you the original layout of the house,
Mm-hmm.
where the front, that was the door.
Yeah.
But in the layout inside,
Mm-hmm.
the entrance was of the house was on the side door.
Yeah, but the panning of the camera, they were on the right side of the house. It's the window, the right side of the house, and then door, and
I
then
see.
another
Yeah, I see where you're going there.
another room. So yeah, and then I had a legit feeling that I'm gonna mention this eventually. I'm gonna say this first. Like my brain's like, which one should I mention first? So
Well,
I'm
go
gonna say
all
this
out
first.
because this
No,
is
I'm gonna
the
say
last
this first.
episode.
I'm gonna say this first. I had a legit feeling that all of these things.
Mhm.
I think it's the. I don't know what that is. I had a legit feeling that this whole thing was just in her memory, like it's not a real thing. Like when the Hex disappeared, it's when she woke up.
Well, it would only make sense. Wait, woke up.
Like I'm talking about this whole episode. This is just her dream. It's just her own vision on how it looks like.
Yeah. Well, she's living her dream.
Right.
Living.
I'm talking about like it's not real.
Well, yeah, because we already saw the little backstory of Wanda, where how all her 50s, 60s, 70s, throughout the decades, where all that came from. It has to come from, through memory, because how would she?
No. I'm talking about, so when the Hex disappeared, right? Because it started with her blasting, and then the Hex happened.
Yes.
And then this ending is going back to where it started. You know what I mean? So
Oh.
it's like her dreaming, like legitimately falling asleep, thinking that this is what I'm gonna do, but this, if I do this, it's gonna end up happening, so I'm not gonna do it. You know what I mean?
I see.
Like this whole episode, this whole season is nothing. It's
So
just her
almost like
thinking.
that Twilight moment.
Yes.
But it actually happened.
But it actually happened. I know, because it started from there, ended there. Okay, and then another thing that does not make any sense is her car still there and she didn't use it.
Exactly. I was like, you're not gonna take your car?
Right. It's still there. It's still the same location. And then she started walking
And then walking straight to
Monica in the capital area, the park.
Yeah, what is they call it, the plaza?
The plaza.
Yeah.
And the car is still there. Like, what?
What? Because now you can fly. You can just
Right.
leave your car.
Like, okay, well, if that was the case, why didn't you just fly and see
Exactly.
Monica and then talk to her?
I guess she just wanted to change of pace.
I needed to walk. I've been flying all this time. I needed to walk.
Let's walk.
Yeah.
Walk it out. Walk it out.
What was that? Was the mid credit scene? Do you have anything else before we go to mid credit scene?
I think they changed the cinema title.
Cinnamon.
Cinema title. You know how the cinema had a title,
Uh huh.
and then when it came to its original, it wasn't the title it was before.
Mm,
I mean, I might be wrong because the first episode and the last episode were totally different.
yeah.
But I think the original, the title of the cinema movie that was displaying weren't there.
Yeah. And different eras, the title is changing anyways.
Oh, that's the mid.
That was the mid-credit scene when Monica went inside the theater.
Yeah. Okay. So well, let's see. What did I like? Well, I did say that I like how they played out the CGI in this one. It was not bad. It kind of blended well. The boys. Well, apparently they were the figment of her memory, or her wish, because we all thought that the boys were related to Mephisto.
Yeah. Well, they were just her creation. They only existed in there because she created them.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think.
And then we don't know what happened to Ralph.
Yeah, we don't know what happened to Ralph. We don't know who the bunny is. We don't know what happened to Sword Vision. Or
He just
we already
disappeared.
yeah, we already discussed what the possibilities are for Agatha, who is now Agnes again. Where did her costume come from?
What costume?
Wanda's costume. How did it end up becoming a figment of, how a highlight crown to her full-on Scarlet Witch costume? How did that come? How did that happen?
Because she can make it.
Well, fair enough. I mean, like, because didn't she turn when she flew away on the end?
Yeah. So she just basically transformed herself. So you're telling me that you can transform yourself using your ability, but you can't cover yourself with your ability and fly? You have to like boost yourself.
Maybe that's what it
hands?
is. Maybe her, you know how you said that Stan Lee fixed that issue that you need something to.
And that was the something. Cover yourself with your ability and then basically controlling yourself. I know you haven't seen Chronicles. There's a movie called Chronicles, and they got an ability of is it telepathy? Telepathy is to control everything.
Oh no, telekinesis.
Telekinesis. So they have a telekinesis ability. So they use the telekinesis to telekinize. I don't know if that's a word. Use the telekinesis to their own body so they can fly.
And you can see that aura of the ability, right? Is that what you're saying?
No, you can't, because you can't really see the telekinesis.
Okay.
But with her ability, every time she uses the ability, like the car. The car is covered with the red thing. Remember her red ability?
No, that's
so
what I'm trying
fly.
to say. I think she has her thing.
But you can't see the red all over it.
It's the costume.
Yeah, but you can. It's just a costume, though.
Well, yeah, but what if that costume is what is making her float?
Yeah, but she was still doing the thing.
The thing with her red.
Yeah.
I didn't see it when she was floating.
Yeah, she did.
Well, that does explain now she can float, but I really believe it's probably her costume because you know how in some, like the game you're playing, what's the Lord of the Ring game you're playing?
Shadow War.
Shadow War. You know how all those armor has some kind of an ability. Like maybe that's what her costume is. Her armor.
I get that, but it's based on the things that she does. Every time she uses her ability, you can see the red aura around it.
Think about it. So what if what different would it be? What different would it showed if she made a figmentation of or a silhouette of the costume because it was a glowing crown.
Right.
What if she did all that glowing, would that make a difference?
If it's glowing red, then yes. But it's not. It's just a costume.
It's just, I mean, it was an idea and it became a reality.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so the house, right? She created the house. It started from while she's using the ability, it started with covered in red until it's settled and nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I see what you mean.
Right. Because the hex is covered in red and she created that and it's an active thing.
Maybe
going on.
Okay. Maybe I guess the only thing they can come up with her thing is just the red balls that she has.
And if you're still listening to this, that conversation does not make any sense. Like we just love arguing about things and not arguing, but talking about things and discussing about everything. You're probably like scratching your heads, like, "Yo, that it's irrelevant. Who cares? You're
Well,
probably
you-
like, who cares if she's using her ability around her arm or around her
It
hand?
simply matters since we had the conversation in the middle of this pod.
Well, it matters because it's like it just, to me, it just doesn't make any sense. If you have that ability, why would you want the thing come out of your hand instead of just? Because now if you're fighting someone, like what happened when she was fighting Agatha, she had one hand boosting her up while she's shooting it. Like, what?
I don't
You're
know.
one of the most powerful being in the Marvel universe, and you decided to fly like that.
Oh, just remember, she became the most powerful being.
No,
after.
she's still she even before that, because she could have defeated Thanos by herself without any help.
Well, she just didn't know how to use her powers.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So without even Agatha's ability absorbing it, just that her ability could have defeated Thanos easy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's true. If she channeled her anger rather than crap.
This girl is so powerful. She can destroy an Infinity Stone. How powerful can you be?
Yeah, you got a point.
She's so powerful.
Even what's his name figured. Well, maybe because she can destroy the Mind Stone because she has part of the Mind Stone.
She has the power. She got part of the Mind Stone.
She has part of the Mind Stone in her.
Yeah, part of the Mind Stone.
Yeah, what I mean is that she may have been able to only destroy the Mind Stone because
No. Well, they didn't say that. She said that she can destroy Infinity Stones.
Did Vision? Because Vision said that she can. WandaVision said that he could have.
Yeah, the only person who can destroy it is you.
Yeah, that's true.
And then, okay, now she's stepping up a notch. Not just destroy the Infinity Stone, but she can destroy this Infinity Stone while stopping Thanos. Because remember, she did that thing in Infinity
yeah, you're right.
War.
She tried to avoid. Okay.
And then Thanos has 5 of the stones in his gauntlet while he's trying to stop
4 stones.
Wanda. 5. There's 6 total.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh,
1,
yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is why I said I need to rewatch the whole MCU.
Yeah.
But okay, well, not to off track. I apologize. What else did I like? What did you like? What scenes are? Because that's the one thing we didn't talk about, or may have overlooked. Likes and dislikes on scenes in the show.
I like I think we already talked about our dislikes. All the inconsistencies in this episode, but I think I like the whole the two Visions fight. I think that's that whole fight scene and them talking to each other while spinning. Awesome. That thing doesn't. It's so irrelevant that why do they have to spin? Like I don't get why do they have to spin. They could have just stayed floating and talking at the same time, maybe bounce up and down, but they decided to spin.
Spin, maybe because one is spinning, they just decided to follow the other. I mean, think about it. In anime or manga, they're slowly going around watching who's gonna make the first move, and pow, or something like that. But
you know what's better? If they were upside down. That would be a lot better.
No, that would be very Doctor Strange-ish.
Yeah, and well, their vision. There's no like idea of space or
time
or matter. No,
or
not
matter.
time, but matter between them.
That's
so
very
it's like
true.
they can be upside down, but they decided to spin. I don't know. I think they're just. I'm pretty sure they're referencing. Once we watch some of the videos on YouTube, I think they're referencing a show where someone will be talking while they're spinning, kind of thing. You know, like you know That 70 Show, right? You've seen That 70 Show?
With Adam Ketchum? No, not Adam Ketchum. It's
You're talking about Ashton Kutcher?
yes, close enough.
Yeah, Ashton Kutcher. Yeah. And they were around the table while smoking pot, and it's like that angle where you see their face, and then the angle to the other person. I feel like that's the whole idea that they're trying to get, because there's some camera angles where they're looking at the sword vision, and then the WandaVision, you know, like that whole spinning thing.
I see.
They might have been referencing another TV show like they always do in this whole season.
Oh, I see what you mean.
You know what I mean? I think it's just a nod to another thing, because they did that Wizard of Oz nod, which I'm pretty sure everybody, at least here in America, everybody who has seen that scene, at one point you thought, "Oh man, that's Wizard of Oz," because there's no way you didn't think that was Wizard of Oz. You thought that was
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz. Yeah.
If you haven't, then that just makes me feel old.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, otherwise, the only time that they will emphasize Wizard of Oz is that one show, that uses all the Disney characters in the show in a bad way.
It's all about Once Upon a Time.
Yeah.
Wizard of Oz is not Disney.
No, it's not Disney, but I'm saying that it appeared there.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, if that's the only time you saw that, then you are missing out. It just makes me feel old.
And then so the mid-credit scene. Now let's go to the mid-credit scene.
Let's go.
Monica approached by an FBI agent, which turned out to be a Kree.
Unfortunately, it wasn't any of the sword characters.
What?
Because every one of you thought that she was. Well, maybe they were, but everyone thought that the friend that Monica was talking about.
It still is. I still think she is. It just didn't confirm. So I still think that she is. No one can really confirm or deny that unless they said I'm not Kree, or I don't know. I guess I mean I could be wrong, but I still think that they were Krees, because you know she said I got the connections. You know what I mean?
Right.
They were texting.
Right.
But this FBI agent was Kree, and I believe she was the same Kree in Captain Marvel.
What she didn't mention. Well, I don't want to say she didn't mention. It just seemed like they acted like they weren't friends.
No, she said about your mom, and then she said up, and whatever up is where Nick Fury is. The real Nick Fury is.
Okay.
Because that was that ship was created by Sword, and who's the founder of Sword? Her mom. And I'm guessing Hayward didn't know anything about it.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Because she pointed up, and then she like.
What was the scene that was shown in the cinema? You know, when she was walking, what was showing on the screen? I don't know. I can't remember if it had.
What are you talking about? Nick Fury?
No. You know how she was walking down the movie aisle, the cinema aisle?
Okay.
And she was like, "Where the heck am I?" But what was on the screen?
Oh, I forgot. It's just a random. It's probably a reference about something, but
yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. Either
I didn't
it just
think,
needed light.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that important, so I didn't really pay attention.
Yeah, I just thought you might catch that. I was like, did it mean anything?
Right. So, when she point up, I feel like that was a good reference to what she said in Captain Marvel, or Nick Fury said. So she said, "I can meet you halfway." Right? Remember when she was a kid? And Nick Fury said, "If you glow just like your auntie." I think that's that part. That's that part. Meeting Captain Marvel, whoever it is, halfway, because now she can glow just like Captain Marvel.
That's true.
So yeah,
there was that, and then leading to the post-credit scene.
You see two different Wanda.
Well, Wanda, I think it was one Wanda that acted like she's at peace at some Canadian. I thought it was Sokovia. I mean, she has the power to fly back. Wait, she has the ability to transport herself. You know how she learned that ability from her, where she disappeared and she came elsewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe she was able to disappear going to Sokovia or wherever she wants to be in that beautiful scenery.
I think she just flew.
It'll be a long flight.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
but she seemed that she was at peace. But then when she looked in the room, finally, what you have expected, all that aura shows that she's floating, reading the book.
Yeah, reading a book.
Maybe
that was the second Wanda, because there was two Wandas.
Exactly, that's what I meant.
The human Wanda, and then that spirit Wanda.
So which one do you think is the real Wanda?
You know who that you know what that scene reminds me of?
That zoom in.
No. That whole thing with the human Wanda and the spirit Wanda is Doctor Strange. Remember Doctor Strange? His body will be sleeping, and then his astral projection will be studying.
Oh.
Yep.
But that body wasn't sleeping.
Yeah, I know, but that reminds me of that, that scene.
Do you think that they will collide at some point?
Yes. Yes. They will collide in the next Doctor Strange.
I see.
What was the title?
Madness.
Madness. Yeah.
Madness of the multiverse or something like that.
Yeah, Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, multiverse of madness.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think they're gonna be there.
I think this is probably when Mephisto comes out because she heard kids in her.
You're right. Oh my gosh, you're absolutely right. Okay, so Mephisto in the comic books, the kids are Mephisto's creation.
Right.
Yeah, Mephisto created them, like
exactly.
part
That's
of
what
him.
you mentioned
So
that
he might show up in
the multiverse of
Ma-
madness.
Yeah.
Because she heard kids yelling, and that's when she snapped and closed the book. And was
Yep.
it purple when she did all that?
I have no idea. I feel like it's gold
Well, we're gonna eventually
because that's
see
the
it.
color of the book.
The color of the book
aura.
was blackish.
No. The aura. Remember
Mm.
when the first time she went in the basement and the book was just sitting there? There was a gold aura around it.
Oh, okay. You're right. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right.
Something like that.
Well, we'll figure that out. But it ended like a typical Marvel movie, but I didn't like how it ended. In the sense where it left you with so many questions.
Mm-hmm.
Versus the other movies, they will leave you slightly some questions. The only movie I believe that left me a question, and I know it's not Wanda related, but it is MCU
Infinity
related.
War.
Not Infinity War. Guardians of the Galaxy 2. The post credit of Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Oh, with
that gold people.
what's his name? Adam something.
Yeah, but he
Adam.
hasn't shown anywhere.
He will be on the third Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, I forgot they're doing a third one.
Yeah, and in that Guardians of the Galaxy is with Thor, Fat Thor.
Fat Thor.
Yep, he's gonna be with them.
Um,
Adam Warlock, that's the guy.
yeah, that's right. Adam Warlock.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think it ended. I just thought it ended where Wanda finally had peace.
Mm.
Like because that scene reminded me of. You haven't seen the movie yet, but it reminded me of Minority Report with Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Or at the end, the kids finally found peace from being used for whatever peace officer department. Because you know what they were able to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so long story short, they were now released and now they're at a peaceful land. That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah.
You
You know what it reminds me of? It's Thanos after the snap.
Oh, that's right. Where he disappeared into a peaceful land
Yep.
after he says, "I'm done. I
Mhm.
succeeded."
That's it. I'm done. I did my job. I can just stay here. That's all. Let's end this podcast. We're in an hour and 40 minutes.
Okay.
I thought this will be a quick podcast, but I guess not.
Sorry.
No, we talked. So if you're still here listening to this podcast, we appreciate you. Please comment, like, and share, and tell your friends about our podcast. If you
Yep.
have anything that you want to say, any disagreement or agreement, please let us know. Comment. You guys can email us at themaximumfilipino@gmail.com. Tell your friends about us. You guys can listen to this on your favorite podcast. If you guys don't want to see us, if you don't want to watch us, but if you guys want to watch us, go to youtube.com/TMFS or the Maximum Filipino Show. My name is CB again, and you guys can find me on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and all that good stuff. The Gum Fam Show. Again, that's The Gum Fam Show. Where can people find you, Waka?
Well, you guys can find me in the social network. I'm realizing now, it's like the reason why I did not share it is like I don't want to get myself out there, but in a sense where government might find me. But I tell myself I'm not anyone important.
Yeah.
So you can find me on Facebook. It's Waka127 on Facebook. I also have a TikTok. Nothing important in there. No material or anything. Also, you can find me on Instagram. Waka127. And if you don't have any social media, but you're old school with emails, you can email us at the maximumfilipino@gmail.com. And you can mention who you want to speak to, or just say a few nice words or negative reports. It's fine. If you can say something negative, it just means that you have,
listen to us.
Exactly. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where you can find me.
That's it. And if you guys also want to support us, please do. Just go to patreon.com/TMFS TMFS show. I couldn't say that right. But that's it. That's for me, CB and Waka. We'll see you guys later.
Peace.
Bye.